Video games have grown up. If you've played The Last of Us, you know what I mean. This is a seismic shift in the way games are designed and presented, and a revolution in the way interactive stories are told. This is art, at its most cutting edge. And with it comes a soundtrack that is just as artistic, soulful, gut-wrenching, and stunning as the game for which it provides an aural accompaniment. In the current console generation, video game music has become almost as good as film music in terms of production value and cinematic-ness. In a game as high-profile as TLOU, you might expect something grandiose, with the seemingly ubiquitous soprano choir and blaring brass sections. You'd be wrong. This soundtrack is a study in understatement, subtlety, and restraint. It's almost painful how tentative the music can be, which I found to mirror the game itself, in the way the characters slowly grow as people alongside the ever-tightening tension and stakes. Most of the music is simple, consisting of a masterfully strummed guitar and ominous, distant percussion. There are little electronic touches that make it feel like something modern, but not so much that it overshadows the simplicity. Again, everything is restrained. There are some hauntingly beautiful pieces here, too, that stir the soul. If you've played the game, these pieces will evoke scenes from the game that are incredibly powerful, terrifying, or gorgeous. One of the things I love about soundtracks is how a particular piece, or even just a strain, will catapult your mind back to the emotions you felt when you first experienced the film or game. This soundtrack does that on every track. It's riveting. Be careful where you listen to it, because it might just evoke a few more emotions than you'd want to show in public. This album would be great even if it wasn't for a game I love. It works well as a deep, thoughtful ambient album, and I often use it at work as just that. It relaxes me and reminds me that there are things more important than the drudgery we go through every day, namely, the people we share the ride with. Not unlike the lessons Joel and Ellie learn in TLOU. Video games have grown up, folks, no matter what the blowhards in the media say. And this is a soundtrack that proves it. And that would be a sad, sad thing. AAA games have so much to offer in terms of story and depth and, for many of them, music as well. The soundtrack to Last of Us is very somber, introspective and intrinsically sad. Yet it weaves in and out of the game without announcing its presence with any loud fanfare or to punctuate a frightening moment. It's exactly the treatment that the game deserves and matches the tragedy and pacing of the story beautifully. One might be even forgiven for not remembering much of a soundtrack at all. But listening to those CDs did elicit quite a few, oh yeah, moments of recognition. While I am not sure if the full soundtrack is included or not, this soundtrack sounds complete to me and is pleasant to listen to and helps to bring back memories of a phenomenal game that few should miss. I got this for my son, and he absolutely loves it. He's played through each level up to Hard. Hard Plus is his current work in progress. He's never bored with it, even after playing through the lower difficulties. There are 2 of each level. He really didn't know whether he'd like this sort of game or not, but I got it for him and he's loved it more than I even imagined. As for me, it's a joy to watch him play. It's so much about story and character, and the interactivity makes it more than a movie. It's been so much fun. A great purchase, highly recommended. one of my favorite game soundtracks of all time. I definitely feel Gustavo Santaolalla complemented this game well with his sound, which gave it an original feel compared to the usual orchestral tracks most video games and movies have these days. The main theme perfectly captures the melancholic and desolate feeling this post-apocalyptic game tries to convey. You can almost imagine Joel, main character, himself playing the guitar riff of the main theme by a campfire, and that's how a great game soundtrack should sound, like it belongs in the actual game universe. The Last of Us is quite literally one of the most spectacular video games ever made, with a Hollywood-quality script, characters and a story that draws you in and leaves you speechless. Click link in description for more reviews.